Okay, back at the grindstone. So, I think I figured out this Rimba Bara guy. Yeah, it's this kind of immature behavior you'll see out of guys and stuff. And so I talked about the trade last night, the entry window there. And I said we would be out of that trade, and he answered that by saying, "It's going up, you dickhead." And I talked about the auction, and I talked about the vacuum, and I talked about buying new lows and having the balls to put your orders in here at this wickety wick, and I marked all this shit off. Now, depending on where your stop is on this would make a big difference on whether you made money from that trade or not. Like I said, you could be the guy, and I said we're running trailing stops above this right now. We have a price vacuum on top, this triangle, this garly, whatever you want to call it. We also have a dickhead pattern right now. It's funny that this dickhead would mention that. And buy stops are stacking up here. This is a doji continuation. Tonight I'll be putting in buy limits here in Fancy Pants land, the previous known top, all the way to the crotch. Right here. I don't know if you can see the crotch here. The crux, some people call it. Crux of the matter. And I said I wouldn't put on a breakout trade here. I would have gotten in limits in Psychosisville. I'd rather take that risk. I think it's too late to chase on the 4-hour when the market's down hard like this. Bam! Like that is, to me, forgot it. Now here you could have picked up a few pips to the south side. Mechanically speaking, with trailing stops, the robot's getting chopped to death, right? Because he's getting in here. And if he runs a trailing stop, he's not blowing the up the account, but he's not making any money. This you could have made money in as we collapse into this hole. And also there was, either that or this guy thinks that there's a lot of people would make reasons why the market moved. And so he's wondering why it's moving. So he has this order flow stuff that he's using to cure that problem of wonderment. So he's not sure. In other words, he's trading too big, so he's too worried. Right? How do you know they say, how do you know you're in too big? Well, you can't sleep at night. Now, if you're swing trading this in the right size and it doesn't affect you and you're just, what you're used to making per day, then these are great trades. And these are trades that you could just one day scalp. Scalps are built in. You know the exit. As you come down, as you rip down here, you start buying, like I said, martingale heavy. Deeper it goes, the harder you buy. And here's the beauty of the script. Is if it lasts all day or it lasts all week, those are two entirely different tactics, strategies. Buy new lows. Really? How far away? All next week. So if you would have told yourself back here, this was the Thursday smashdown, or maybe that was Wednesday or Friday, I don't know. We just know that's a new low, and that becomes a top later on. So you definitely get a beautiful pivot on the 4-hour right there. It's structurally, right. Besides, don't forget, you have filled this qualifier, right? This is like, okay, so say you, say you don't put enough money in your account and they're charging you $14 a month to have your account and you forget about it. Now you got to go overdraft, right? There's a vacuum and you have to put that money in. Well, the money comes rushing in, of course. Once we run out of sellers, so I try to explain to this guy what's moving. I said, he says, well, I can't, I'm just remembering what I said. He says, how can you tell there is more buyers than sellers if you don't use order flow? Bullshit, stupid motherfucker. So he's saying that we can see Bill Gates' order down here, and this is what the big boys are doing. So we need to do what the big boys are doing. We need to buy down here. But I'm buying there already because I know that's where all liquidity's at. I know there's a bunch of fresh territory there, whether it's Fibonacci-ville, and I'm sure we can make the argument I could force Fibonacci to work for me. Just like this. Look at called it. I just randomly dragged that. I can qualify this area. So I saw ICT do this. This is the most retarded. Dude, you have to know that you might as well just drop LSD because you're fantasy trading this shit. If you're going to tell me that you bet the ranch because you called out the 423.6, this is why I had to leave this. I get that it's a joke about Fibonacci, but dude, I'm over it. Like, dude, there's no women out there like so in the coffee shop. Hot as, I don't know, I picked the right time of day. I think it's happy hour. Hot as hell. I'm like, man, I gotta come to happy hour. This is nice. And I'm like, look at the patterns in here. Now, if you're, the Gartley factor was out of control at the coffee shop. So, yeah, I get that, you know, and there may be a Fibonacci girl out there that's like, babe, you got a 618 for an ass. It's not happening. I mean, I'm going to tell you, if you walk around with a Bowley gauge that's calibrated to Fibonacci and you start coming up on girls who are like some calibrator, you're about 30. I'm in love with you because you're 61.8 pounds overweight from a chubby chaser, baby. Fucking, how overweight? Tell me again how. I love to hear the number. So, could we break out and keep going up? Would the price pulse continuation traders make money? Are we done filling the vac? So here's the question, the checklist. It was kind of just like a good old fashioned detective. Could we pop up here tonight? Can we breach this peak? So you'd ask yourself, you know, Sound of Music, climb every mountain. Can you breach that? Can you rear up and scalp into this gray zone and just call it a day? Are you happy with that trade? Here's another problem. How many trades are you going to do a day? This poor guy that just tortured, I guess, you know, he tortured me because he started to jump on trades I was in. Like, if I bought the British pound right here, how much did I buy and did I scalp something out? Did I take 8 pips? Did I just sit there and make 13 pips and 21 pips and 34 pips all day? I got my target set to Fibonacci, you know, pips because it works. Did I say that? Did I put a buy limit thing? Now, my favorite trade is to put 1 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour buy limits really deep. And put about 80 tickets in there. Don't piss your broker off. But what about 80 tickets? You know, that could be 10Ks. So it'd be 800K, right? You could also get a, you could also do like 2Ks. You could trade heavier. You know, I'm saying the execution. The way I traded that account and other things people don't understand, some people, that when you're in a $2 million position and it's built out of 1Ks, when you hit the take profit all key, even on a demo, which are screaming fast compared to some real accounts, if you've ever done both, and you're like, dude, it's going to take me forever to get out of this trade. So don't forget about that consideration. And so, you know, would you sell here? Trend guys, they're selling, huh? Could you get trapped here? Did you get trapped here? Yes, I detect a stop hunt on this particular broker. It looks like somebody got chunked out here. This little mini vac here. And I'm taking into consideration every bar. Bar by bar. This is, you know, this is not for sissies. This is bar by bar trading. And we're waiting for this thing to simmer down. Or we're buying here on the 100 fib. Let's reload, refresh, start over, and go through it again. So you should also be able to step up to the plate at any moment on any chart. You should walk into a room, look at a chart and go, I would buy, I would sell. Get in here. Like the SEAL Team 6 guy did say one interesting thing. You give me any trade. You put me in any trade and I will. He didn't say if he was adding to a loser. Now, I think to me, that's the only way to get out of that trade. If you're going to tell me technically, now this is also a semantic bullshit riddle game where people wanted to say this too, like this asshole that's like, it's going up. You're wrong. It's going up. Yeah, dude, after it went down. So we made money on the way down. And like I said, the big move would be on the way up because we're going into uncharted water. We're going to buy in limits low. And we are going to trade 2 systems. Okay, we're triple system traders. We're trading at the market. So if we're bullish, or we just want to trade a bounce, the only prudent thing to do is if it's down, this you have to make this up in advance what your real list is going to be. If it's down hard in half an hour, you've told yourself and you're disciplined, I will buy. Now, you may be a guy that likes to chase. If it's down lightly, I'll sell. If it's down hard, would you sell? Okay. If you perceive we're about to crush into a monster vac that goes way back like 3 years, how about infinity? How about, okay, anybody ever thought about this one? If gold takes out $2,000, is it going to $4,000? Well, 50% extension says so. We don't need any 618. We don't need elaborate fucking logarithmic spiral, logarithmic projections into space on some cycle Hurst fill in the goddamn blank. Another thing that I can see with this guy is he also said to me that, oh yeah, you need, so I answered him and I said, well, you could just watch the price move and figure that there's more buyers than sellers. You could also take the auction theory, which I think explains a lot as far as stuff like this, where it's like, holy shit. And at this point, who isn't looking at a move to here now? Like, so this is up on the table as soon as we breach this price. And of course, don't forget, the market doesn't see a trend line. It just sees price. So it's a very raw gauge of reality. It's pure price. That's price. Now, you could go all the way back to here and see it dipped into the well of this that goes way back. So it's not, I'm not saying it's a pivot. I'm saying that's the top of the VAC. And the VAC would be, well, last known would be from here. And this is the 4-hour chart all the way down to Memphis and beyond. So that's a very big deal. People were saying stuff like that here. Oh, dude, let's take this out. And they'd already got their trend lines drawn. So we can see, doesn't mean that so this is another thing. People are so paranoid. I don't know what kind of drugs they're on, but they're like, dude, you think that they're fading the indicators? Because I got a channel there and it's supposed to keep going down. Yeah, I know you projected this fucking channel, dude, but come on. How do you explain this channel? What I would say to a channel trader, first trade me this channel. Oh, sorry. Sorry for that. I apologize in unadvanced. Right here. This channel here, this walk up into this top bottom, into this glorious top bottom. Speaking of this wick tip becoming roughly that as it crawls up back in. And a feeble attempt at that. Now, do we need order flow to see the struggle in that move? Do we need order flow? When we see a spike, do we know somebody just got fucking filled and we should have bought that? What prevented this guy Rimba from telling me today, dude, I just told him, lie to me. Tell me you got in here on a fib. Dude, that fib shit really works. It's better than crack. I wonder if this clusterfuck here is meaning anything. Is this some type of, oh, geez, 2 weeks of trading in a narrow range? What could that possibly mean? That's probably redistribution. It could be accumulation for a run up, though. This is the disturbing thing. And if this isn't random, dude. So he's claiming the markets aren't random. Dude, this looks like somebody threw up on my screen. So how about this one? Do I have to bring up the random generator to prove to this asshole? I should do that here. Okay, so maybe this will help him. Does this look anything like the market to you? Just take a look at this. I did a video on this. It's one of the, because I did a thumbnail of this, and that's what attracted everybody to this thing called markets. And it was a thumbnail of this beautiful layered, there's like probably 50, oh, I'd say 20 financial random model generators, right? And you can make any type of argument for any trade you want, really. I mean, there's no end to it. Can we just agree to that? Could I draw trend lines on this chart? Do you see any end to this? And then you're going to tell me, well, I don't see the news coming out in here. And look at the number. This is the default setting. Here's 2 states. This is what people want to see. This is why people run moving averages. Oh, I want to see that. 1 rule. Here's the down rule, apparently. And here's this rule out of that rule. So let's take 2, and let's go for number of rules. Less rules. Different count. I guess I'm never going to get back to... Oh, there's a random. Try to find random interesting rule. Oh, there you go. Now that explains a lot. I see a bottom become a top here. Can anybody see this? So you're making the story up to help you trade. You need a reason to trade. And so, yeah, this is a random price generator of a perfect fractal. We got a triangle, explosion, right? The vacuum fills. Same story, different day, right? Look at this unfair value. We've fallen down here. Are you the guy that's trading this? Selling here, buying here. I just don't get it. I think what it is that people want to believe that, well, you know, structurally, I would get in here. This is the 50% of this move. Just try it. And this is the heartbreak. You're going to realize that if you don't have a trade plan for zigzags, you're fucked. And this guy has no trade plan, as you can see. At least I have one. I have a systematic mechanical one, which we would trade. We would put on hedges during the zigzag, the noise. So we get noise level. This is when we get in. This is a nice, beautiful trade. Well, here you go. Well, that's a range trade, isn't it? And this is just idealistic stuff. Crude amount of rules. So there's perfect oscillations in here. And this is not random at all. This is very symmetrical looking to me. I guess I don't have the right demonstration running here, so let me try another. So here's the fallacy in order flow numbers, is that number is telling you the magnitude of the move and the destination. That's completely harebrained. So the Brownian motion is by a guy named Brown, and I think he observed pollen or something, or those real light seeds floating in a pond, and he charted it. Dude, it's like random. Now this is like a market going up kind of, and I think this is a pretty clean example. This is also the return cumulative standard deviations, the mean, annual, and this is built on a financial model of some type. The geometric Brownian motion. So this is actually a motion that's got some symmetry, or maybe it's just triangles. I don't know what they mean by geometric, but simulating the daily stock return series. It's simulation, so would you trade a simulation of, would you have a trade plan for a simulation? Cumulative returns, maximum drawdown, change respect to 3 parameters given an underlying set of random shocks. Okay, so if we shock the market, how far does it go? And that's what really moves the market, a spike. And what is the return to standard deviation? What is the recovery? If there's irrational exuberance, when is the party over? Bitcoin's had its climax. Bitcoin's going to 500. So I could mark me down for that. Oh, look at that guy. 3 years ago, he's that fucking idiot. So does it. Okay, because it's just nothing but, it's like MasterCard, dude. It's just nothing but an exchange. That's the whole point. There's no intrinsic value in a Bitcoin. Sorry, people. I hate to break your fucking heart. Now you take a Studer Revox open reel tape machine, running at 30 IPS. That will, until 3D printers can build one of those, that'll always be a sweet thing to have. It does, nothing does what that does. There is no plug-in on a UAD card. There is no app for that. There's no app for real shit, man. So, Don's mentioned these are floating prices. Forex is a floating currency. There is no regulation. It's over the counter. It's very sensitive to shock. That's why people say, I get killed trading Forex. Because they invest in stocks. By the way, it's coming up on 8:30. Just to let you know. And so I can just feel it. I just, without a corner of my eye, I just kind of, 8:30, time to put a trade on. So, yeah, let's just look at the quotes here instead of the, would you buy here to get out at 62? That's Mark Douglas question. Buy at the market? Would you pay 58 to get out? Would you buy here to make 3 pips? Would you try to make $30 on a standard lot? Would you try to do that trade right now? How much money are you trying to make? Like, the guy never answered that either. If you had a basket of orders, some were scalps, some were swings, and built into an elaborate dense pack, you could have gone away for 10 hours today, and you come home, you were up so big. And if you only waited every hour to pull the trigger now, unbeknownst to this guy that doesn't understand system trader, this morning, can you see the trade? Can you see the robot that cleaned up on a trailing buy stop? I mean, this stuff should be obvious. And what's going to help is a real big tool is at closing highs. This is the only trap coming out of Asia. Neri, okay, this is a slight trap, and here's a trap. But look at down, 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 and you're short into that. You have to be short into that on your systems. You got 4 tickets running here because each one of these dojis needs an order. It's asking to be traded. So the market is coming to your entrance, be it late, and there was no limit sells, unless you consider this one. But that would actually be, you got filled. One thing I can say about selling, you got filled. This is the bid we're looking at. But it doesn't tell you if you could take profits, because we have to get the ask to drop below the bid. All right, so some people think that you're looking at price here, but you're really not, because right here the spread could have been at 15 pips for a millisecond as we scream up. So if you're getting filled here on ask, call it slippage. It's just you're getting filled during a wide spread. Now you could have Goober-esque orders stacked up here and just go, dude, I'm just going to do it. Bill Williams is making, look at Bill Williams, he's making money. I'll put my buy stop on this fractal on the 1 hour. Yeah, he made money. But the guy that's diligently laying in, waiting for the bomb to go off, and maybe he got trapped on a couple K there. But the deeper it goes, plus you're also trading at the market. Don't forget, you're buying at the market like a whore there and a whore there. And you're also buying more here because look at the small body, right? That's the reason. So there's a reason for the season. If you have a doji script, if you have a doji trade plan, you're gonna offset all your dumb shenanigans of Fibonacci and, well, it's not random. See, now you'd be long right now. You would be long in Asia right now. You are long right now. Can you see you're long on 2K if you're going to trade every hour that the market is in a small 10 pip range? You're going to put a buy stop and a sell stop. You're by default long on 2K right now. And if you wanted to go even riskier, you'd be long at 3K if you could handle this with the candle. But as sure as fuck, you don't want to put a buy stop. Well, maybe you would at the top of this candle, but you can see the problem. The party's over. You missed it. Your trailing buy stops got filled here, and like I said, down hard buy. This is coming into whatever. It's also coming into this hole. And this is a fantastic deep discount. And I don't even know what that is. I mean, I don't have the grid up here, so I'm just doing a complete raw analysis. For anybody that doesn't want to, because I'm tired of posting all this shit. You know, people that get it, that's great. And people that can see price action or price drama, carnage left behind. And so also this moron would say, well, that's hindsight. But I'm telling you right now, you have buy limits here tonight. And look at this top. Look how they came and retested that little tippy top there and then bye-bye. Now, you could have had, and I say, you got to think about all these things. So you don't just trade one system. And if you do trade order flow for some harebrained reason, because to me it's a distraction, to my order flow is what's really important. I don't care about Bill Gates' order flow. I care about my order stacking up. And this, so what this guy is missing, and he hates me because I'm right and I'm smarter. So people hate that. You know, it's like this. Do you have a trade plan for each bar? And if you do, you're a hell of a trader, because that's saying that when I see an 18.5 pip bar, I have a different trade plan for a 10.1 pip bar. And anything under a 10 is the qualifiers, filters. So the filter. Right? Then the order flow. Your order flow. That's what's going to affect your account. The fact that you can see a big fat buy iceberg order down there, maybe you can see dark pool orders. Let me just tell you something. It's not going to help you. In fact, it's going to hurt you, because then you're going to think, oh, dude, I'm paying. So I know this guy, and he's a really nice guy, so I don't want to dip into his... but the insecurity that comes in, he's trading very big. Huge trader. But he got to call the bank in the morning. He wants, like, you know, he wants to really, really, really make sure, because he's trading so really, really big. And I get that. But, and he's calling, now, people say, well, see, he's calling the bank, the institution. Dude, he's just doing it for his security blanket. It doesn't mean. And if you think that, this is another thing. Do you really think the big boys are winning all the time? I got news for you. If the big boys are winning so big, banks would close their doors. They wouldn't need customers' money. They just go trade Forex. Anybody ever think of that? It makes no fucking sense. They trade because they have to. Because people are moving around. And people want to move their money around. They want to buy the pound. They want to find better value. And this is an auction. And this is value down here. Now you can tell me all about, yeah, my order flow calls out all these prices down. Great. That's wonderful, dude. But honestly, if I see 185.2 and 162, I got to think to myself, I wonder what that would be on a scale of, like, I'd want to see volume bars before I saw that. Dare I say, I'd rather see histogram volume bars than to have to judge, is that number bigger than that number? I'm a visual trader, so I think these, I want to say that, you know, this is some pointed out by Tony Robbins. So I took the Tony Robbins course. My girlfriend thought he was, Jim Jones, so she wouldn't participate. But it was a real symbolic thing, and so stuff affects us. We hear it, we read it, or we touch it, you know. It's pattern people. So I'm a pattern guy. I'm geometry. I'm also like, look at this, it's going down. Look at this, it's going up. So I'm very much like, look at the price go. And look at it go right now. Like I said, you're long right now. You have to be up for anything. There's probably 3 windows to trade. You're either going to get in Asia when it's quiet, pick a direction. And even here you made money. Don't forget, you can tell me all about how it went down, but the breakout trader here that got in at that inverted, that gravestone, that dragonfly, he made money, right? If he cashed out, and if you ran trailing sell stops, so you're actually being other people. It's another thing people don't like. Well, you're going to be like 10 people. Yeah, you got to be the goober that keeps placing sell stops here to get confirmation entry. You also have to be the guy with big balls that says, I'm selling new highs. You got to be both people. And you got to be the guy that goes, I'm going to let this thing This is my last window of opportunity. Look at the triangle. They're all unique. Each triangle is unique. And how do we know it's a triangle? Hopefully you can perceive these triangles, right? Here's anytime you see zigzag shit, you either wave 4 or wave B, right? B wave. C being the big, right? Big down. So this would be, and then bam. Now look at this thing pick up speed, and I guarantee you on the 1 minute chart, when we hit this price level here, so we could identify that entrance point there, and this would be right when you get filled. And the hour in front of that. Go to the half hour, go to the 5, and now we have to scrunch in. And just look at this. Your 15-minute stop bot is getting in here right in the crotch. And also your 15-minute stack. So what I do is I keep pressing a button for 15-minute tickets. I love the trade. So I hit the 15 and a half hour sell stop, sell stop, sell stop, sell stop, sell stop, fill. Also, I've already put limits in here at the structure. So if we invade this and make an attempt to stop out these guys, right? I'm going to have to fix the scale here. If we come after these guys, but you can make money without even being here, man. It's kind of sad. It's like sex. You don't have to, it's kind of like phoning it in. As we rally into this price, we're going after these two fractals here. We never get there. And the guy that got in here the day before, he's laughing. He's like, dude, wait till this thing. And he could have scalped to here. He could have got out here, right? He could have played the auction new low game here and scalp back into this. Same like this guy, but this guy made more money because this is way more dramatic. And look how they just clip the trees here on the 15. Come up there and trap them. And I would say, you know, I'm just saying that for the guy that's trading breakouts. So don't forget, everybody that thinks they're so clever and everybody's got their head up their ass, you're speaking from a point that somebody's taking that trade in that particular manner, in that particular way. So don't ever confuse making money with, I mean, if you have good money management skills, you can be a dumb fuck and make quite a killing. If you get too clever and you're like, yeah, I got the stochastic RSI, you should want to hear what Trump just said, the market's going to go. Okay, if you traded the election, you've got balls with real money. So I try to trade the election with a little bit of real money, but I was blowing up demos. That's another reason why you want a demo. You need a canary in the coal mine. You also need to grow your, okay, you need to accept that you could make $100,000 in 1 month if you traded really hard on a demo, and your belief system needs to change that, yeah, you can take a $300 account and you can make $1,000 in a month. You need to think like that because you need to train for that. Now, could you take $300 and turn it to $1,000 and wipe it out? Oh, absolutely. Because once you would do it. I would put it. What it is, if you're good at trading, you're going to make money trading. It's the old joke. How do you make $1 million trading? Start with $2 million. Because if you've got that kind of money to be a slob, and not, you know, just tip people and order carry out and live like, you know, and not be a miser, and not be a guy that, you know, so the miserly trader is patient. He's, well, you know, no, I'm not that guy. I'm a little bit, I'm a loose cannon. I mean, I'm not even sure I trust myself to drive a car. Yeah, so, you know, you have to drive with 1,000 eyes. That's what my dad told me when you drive a car. And if you're trading, are you trading with 1,000 eyes? Do you have too much market info? Have you dialed it in too far? Are you looking for something that's not there? And so, yes, in Asia, when I said we were going to go short here, The breakout of the 4 hour. Don't forget that's what that looks like, right? That's what that trade looks like. I mean, time frame is incredibly. One time somebody said time frame doesn't matter. No, it really does matter. It so matters to the volatility trader. And a lot of people don't want to trade unless there is volatility. And they would chase this, and they'd get in late, and they'd make money. So don't I just want it to be clear there are people making money doing the dumbest shit in the world. Like, you might think, oh, I know the fucking compression ratio of the car I just bought. But there's some goober next to you has so much money, and he just doesn't care what the compression ratio of his car is. And he's going the same place you are. So this is completely stupidity. And I get that trading's a lonely business and all this stuff, but, I don't know. It is if you're staring at the screen all day. I'm tempted to, always tempted to discuss trading with people, but then I realize, no, I know too much, or they don't give a fuck. They're happy. They've got a job. They make money. They're fine. And it's too, I don't want to say risky, but it's just too volatile. I mean, you're either going to, depending on what happens in London Open and 6 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time, when you're coming out of London into the U.S., okay? And the market could be reversing. It could be just continuously pounding in one direction. Just keeps cutting into fresh water, up or down. Okay, it's going into monthlies, yearlies. People are like, holy fuck me. I mean, you gotta, if you have any kind of romantic feeling for the mystery of what's next. Otherwise, you're bored. I mean, when I was a kid, I claimed boredom, but it's only because I didn't know enough to build on what I already knew. And when you get older, you can build on what you know, and then you can say, wait a minute, was I leaning on other people? Was I leaning on the crowd to confirm it with seeing their depth of orders, their order flow? Am I waiting for, and of course this would be the claim from, and maybe this guy's coming from that standpoint, it's totally possible, that he's waiting to see the big boys push the price up here, and then he gets you in here on the pullback, and he's like, say, that's how you trade, son. You don't go stepping in front of no fucking freight train and tanking. Okay, so that could be another personality issue. And I think it really is trading's the most intimate thing you'll ever do in your life, because when you're in that trade, only you, if you're the one that pulled the trigger. Now, this is the argument for hiring a hot chick to do it for you. She's a beginner. Actually, you're kind of off the hook, because if she goes, oh, I was a little late, I saw that we should have got in here, so I just got in anyways. You'd have to give her like, okay, well, if you missed it, don't take the trade, right? And then you could see it, right? You got time and sales on her. So this is your order flow you need to worry about. Is if you have a staff or prop house, the order flow in your thing. I get that the guy that owns Starbucks may be watching on the horizon and their stock's getting hit, and they're just a piece of shit company. Like I said, I was there, the grinder blew up and they didn't have a backup grinder. Dude, you're not serious. Trust me, at the hospital, they got more than one oxygen tank. If someone lights a cigarette and blows one out. It's called backup. And if you've got the pendings with the time decay, you're good. If you fell over, and those orders will be gone next week. If you've fallen over, you can't get up at the end of the day, 24 hours. That order is pending for 24 hours. And you're waiting to hit a fucking better than a lottery ticket win. You could run 500 pip stops. $50 a trade. You can be very... it's one thing Mark Douglas said, which I think was what made it difficult for me to trade, is that it's the most creative thing you'll ever do. So if you get too creative, With order placement and too much, now you like, holy shit, I'm in 140K here, and I was really just planning on 80K. Are you comfortable at 80K? Are you comfortable putting in a couple K out there? Are you used to the idea of being underwater? Can you tolerate being wrong? How do you feel about putting your car in the wrong gear and hitting somebody? How do you feel about accidentally backing up and hitting somebody? I mean, it could happen. You could be distracted. Somebody could hit you, and then you do something stupid because you can't focus. Can you drive a car? Do you trust your broker? Do you think the broker's out? Do you think there's a thing like a stop hunt, and because you put a stop in, you're like, I know they're gonna hit it. I know they're gonna hit it. Maybe you're trading too big. I mean, it's a bottomless pit, right? It's literally a bottomless pit. So yeah, if you want to criticize and you want to make comments and stuff, I get it. I can see who you are now. I can see how you think. I'm not, okay, so you have a checklist, and you think that order flow is the holy grail, or maybe it's a contributing part of the grail. Wonderful. Go look at the tickets, and you tell me. But if that's the case, then you should just be trading your ass off and bragging about your account and showing everybody on MyFXBook your demo account. Dude, show me a demo account. I mean, I'm all about demo, obviously. You don't have to show me a real account. I don't care if you got $300 or $3 million in there. Like, I mean, I don't think somebody with $3 million is watching my channel. I think somebody that wants to make $300 is watching my. I mean, everybody wants to make more money. So there's this guy Dave Gibson that would tune in. He would comment on my videos. I don't know if he watches anymore, but you know, he's so esoteric that people got angry at him. Like, dude, really? It's like, make a point. But hey, you know, there's all sorts of projections we're going to put on the market, and we want to make sense of it. And if you can trade random prices, you should be pretty good at trading. If you're going to tell me that you called the exact low here at 130.10, you missed your round number entry. So if you had a pending at the big round, where's it at? I don't even know. I guess I'm lost without my grid. Here, down here. So this is the, oh shit, 131. Right, so we're below the round. Just about hit 130 right there. So also you could just trade round numbers. Now, did we hit it? Not quite. So you could have told me, dude, I was going to buy here at the round number. Fucking missed it. Yeah, because you were too fucking cheap, and you didn't have a buy at the market plan. So every hour it was down, the guy that bought the market here, he didn't miss it. And the nice thing about the fear of missing out, it's a fear for a reason, because you're going to miss out. You better fucking get that trade on. You have to have a fear of missing out trade. I told some guy that 2 years ago, some guy in Germany. He goes, yeah, you need just a bullshit trade. You need to get a bullshit trade going, dude. You can't nitpick. You can't pick this shit apart that fine. You got to say, okay, I did it. I put in my Martin. I put in pendings here, dude. I'm getting in here. I described this fucking trade last night. Go back and watch the fucking video, dude. I said, you got to be prepared to put buy limits in here and pick this shit up. And I said, put a master stop on it. Did I not say that? God damn, man. I mean, really, I know I bullshit through the whole thing, and maybe that just went over your fucking head. But that would be it, right? And we would scalp out of into the floor. So where's our exit going to be? It's going to be right here at the table, right? So the scalp for that was realized, right? If we bought here, we knew our exit was here. We knew it. How do we know? Not with order flow, with structure. Or just price. Like I said, it could be random. Another thing to consider. How about this price is higher than that price, so if we buy here, we know we made money. And I think that's what's really going on. I think we want to make sense of it, and we want these rules to work. And we can find where they do. And I don't think, okay, if that's what's helping you, if you believe in Jesus and that's keeping you from killing me, believe in Jesus, right? But look at this. What does this say? Could you trade this? You know, I want to flip through the parameters on this puppy. See if I get the chart bigger. Shit. I know there's a way to resize this. Here, I'll just have to zoom in. So, hopefully I can change the settings. Oh shit, here's how you change it. So sorry. Okay, now I'm going to change the parameters. My lever set. Shit, I went too far. Okay, off the chart. We're off the chart here. So we've got a risk of ruin assessment here too. So this is your classic model. And standard deviation. So this would be our, how wide we're going to do the orders. So the structure isn't changing, but our depth of market, you know, price behavior. Here's how many days. Right? It would make a difference. There's only going to be a couple days. Like if this is your scalp, what's the mean annual? Right? What's the new random case? Now we're going to go to a whole different randomness. Can you perceive a market doing something like this? Now let me ask you something. Could I make a bunch of suppositions on this price behavior? I could say, look at this top, kind of became a bottom, making lower highs. We got trailing buy stops pending. We get picked up in the flow, the order flow. Okay, so your order flow, right? I try to tell those people, dude, it's your order flow. Buy stop stacking up, trap trade, finally you make some money. But you don't make money. If that guy got trapped here, that's a loser. Right? Pending sells stacking up. Just think about that, right? Don't look at a real currency. You don't need to, right? Here's your Gartley. It's going to be okay. Yeah, you end up in a fucking insane asylum. A real institution. Yeah, look at him. It's like I was watching the thing about Sid Barrett. Look at him. He looked at a Gartley. Now look at his fucking brain. They scrambled his brains. Sid Barrett trades Forex. He's all fat. I didn't hear the story. You know, I thought the guy died, but he just checked out. He went bye-bye. So your annual mean, let me get a little smooth. This looks like the weekly now. Wait, we're talking. Wait a second. Yeah, let's go for more days. Oh boy, what was a great trade you got long, did you? Oof. Look at you. Oh, but you bought here, you say, at the double top? You poor thing. Oh, God. I guess it's a bullish market. That looks like the stock market. Oh, a new random case. So tell me, riddle me this, Mr. I called the market. Look at this random generator. Very bullish. I'm liking it because it's bullish. God, it looks like every market I've ever traded. Very ziggy-zag. How about less days? It's too noisy. Let's zoom in. Okay. 92 days. Oh, there's some bear markets in there. Oh, look at this pattern. Wait. I think I see a structure entry. So we're all making up this story so that it's okay to trade. And the size of the tickets that are down there. How does that work? Do I trade bigger when the tickets are bigger? Like I'm long right now. I'm winning. I got in here. Got right there. And I'm scalping out, by the way, of something. I'm out of 30% of the position. You got to pick a number there, too. And you'll have to trade every day on the hourly to really make money in the hourly, I think. Seems to me. For you to really take full advantage. But, you know, it's work. And here we have no... this is not a triangle. This is that all that rangy stuff. But this here was the big auction, big weekly auction. And new lows today, Thursday, jobs report, the whole 9 yards. So this is another thing that you could use, and you would make money from it. And it doesn't mean that you would make a living from it, because you would have to trade properly on each one of these. You also need a scalp built in. So let's say you drew the classic trend line. And actually you got trapped here because it broke, but you're like, oh, I'm going to draw it here and make a big long trend line. And you got in right here, and you're like, dude, I made money today. I got into the trend line break. You did. And some people think that's socially acceptable trade. Now, I guess what I'm doing is not socially acceptable. Because I'm saying, fuck Bill Gates' order. I don't care what the big boys are doing. What am I doing? How am I making money? Don't worry about the other guy. So, your behavior in the market. Then the guy also said, so this guy's a guy that looks to other people for confirmation coming at the top of the hour. So he's looking, he wants to see what the big boys do first. I guess that's logical, right? I mean, you can't blame somebody for going down that road. So we've all been where Rimba Bara is, his English not so good. So, that's it. And, there's, in this whole thing with the next best order, if you think that's giving you an edge, yeah, maybe it is for 3 pips. But I really don't think you need to scalp for a living or scalp to make money. You could be a very low frequency trader and make quite a bit of money. 2 trades a week. Look where these triangles come in the landscape of that. Isn't that interesting? See the triangle? That's the hourly triangle. Let's not forget that too. If this is my triangle on the hourly, where does that show up on a 4-hour? Give me the context for that. Interesting. Now look at that. It's inside a bigger triangle. I'm calling this the triangle. Or the box, or the flag, what have you. And look at this repetitive cycle we see. We fill the void on the 4-hour. We rinse and trap and repeat, rinse and repeat, trap. Now if you trade trap to trap, it looks like this. And here you are right now in the midst of, we're just going to go long. Default, we're already long on the 1 hour, and we're looking to fill this void maybe by the end of the week. I don't know what's coming out tomorrow. Maybe there's news, maybe there's not. It doesn't matter. Because I've seen the market not move on news, and I've seen it move like crazy on just nothing. Or barely any news, light news, So, that's it. Good luck with that.